Howdy, chat. Just a second. Get stuff set up. How we doing, chat? It is. It's definitely a I was about to say it's definitely a Thursday. Yeah, it's definitely a Thursday, y'all. It's such a good Thursday. As you can tell, I'm a little out of it. It is a good looking shirt, and I wore it for a reason. Yes. So today be a little different than usual. Don't know how long it'll be. It is Wednesday, I'm aware. I'm very out of it, if you can't tell. I got up super stoked for this stream, and I've slowly ridden the school train down a few hype levels. But I'm here. I'm ready to do this. I'm ready to talk about my art and dissect about the things I did, the things I wish I did, etc., etc. Oh, nice. I'm a big fan of Maria's work. Is it Maria or Marie? I can't remember. Brain fried. But yes, these hats are sick. They do wonders for my imposter syndrome every once in a while. But yes. Yeah, things I wish I did. So, okay, like I said, I don't know how long today's stream will be, or what people will be interested in seeing. Let me real quick pop it on Facebook, because that's where the people who like my art seem to be. I apologize, chat. Probably should have done this earlier. How you doing, chat? How's your Wednesdays been? I am so ready for stream to be, or so ready for the week to be over, not stream. Let's see. Yeah, let's share the story. Might as well. That probably works. I have to get back to work, but I do good. Glad to hear it. That's alright. Like I said, not sure how long this will be or how much people will be in watching it, but we'll find out. So let's see. Thanks, Donnie. Well said. I wholeheartedly agree. Real quick, I wanted to show off something that I found today that I thought was pretty cool. It is a piece by some pixel artists that I follow. It is a free frog gachapon machine on a website, where essentially you literally just, yes, give credit to the artist and all that. You just click it and it'll give you a frog, and each frog is different, and you can collect all of them. I've already collected all of them because I sat here for like 10 minutes just getting a bunch of cards. They're very cute. Yeah, it's been half a year. It feels like so much shorter, but it's been a while. Of course, I've collected all of the frogs. Post that one in Long Man. Good point. I will do that after stream. Just want to stop and show love. Thanks, Kevin. Love you too. I fully understand going and watching Bader stream. I completely understand. But no, I just wanted to show this off because I thought it was really neat. It's finch.gay/ I'll put this link in chat. Hopefully it doesn't yell at me. So if you feel like getting yourself some frogs, go get yourself some frogs. It's totally free. Follow the artists, of course. They're all very talented people. And you can just click and collect all of these good little friends. They're all so wonderful. Let's see. Oh, we got a 5-star pull, boys. I'm gonna say what I was saying. Nah, you're all good. I saw you tweeting about it earlier. It's fine. got a 5-star pool, boys. We are in here. But yeah, you can. I could literally spend all day just getting tons of little frog friends. Like we have frog bread. What other games have frog bread? This one has frog bread. Frog bread. All kinds of cool art. Yeah. That's all I wanted to show of that. Here, real quick, let me adjust this. Should be a little better. Okay, so today will be the commentary stream for the first and second Animal Crossing cartoons. Let me real quick ramp down the music. No, we did not say Clone High. All right. So, the gist of it is, if you have a question about, it does look really neat. I love Yacht Club. I love Mega Skull. I forget the developer's name, but Cyber Shadow looks real neat. I should probably play it at some point. But yes. The gist of it is, we'll go ahead and watch each cartoon. If you guys have questions about, like, what did I do to do this specific thing, or why did I choose such and such, I encourage you to use the highlight your message friendo point reward, because otherwise chances are higher that I'll miss it. If you have questions that are urgent that you want me to see, then I encourage you to do that, because my attention will be all over the place today. I guarantee it. Because, oh boy, I've got some stuff that I would love to go over. So I guess we start where it started, huh? Let's go for the first cartoon. Whoop. Animal Crossing Speedrun Animated. So for those of you without the information, same here. This, as it says on my shirt, it was made for a class assignment to imitate an animator. I, of course, chose Terminal Montage because Jeremy is a big inspiration, and I like his style. Obviously that backfired in the case that it blew up, and all I got known as is the guy that imitated Terminal Montage. Which I will admit I do make a joke about it in my Katamari video that I'm excited for people to see. Which we might take a look at it. I might show off a little bit of the cartoon later on into the stream. Maybe. Just as like a thank you for watching type thing. Because like I said, I don't know how many people are actually going to stick through the whole thing. So I don't know if I want to just kind of play it and pause it at specific parts. I will say the way that I say usually make cartoons, I've made 2 cartoons and I did it one of those times. The way I usually do cartoons is I break it up into shots, of course. Where I have like a specific scene and I want a thing to happen in that scene, I'll animate that. And then I'll go on to the next one, and then when I'm done with all those, I'll compile them into a big Premiere thing, edit them down, add whatever animation I might not be able to do in Photoshop, do that in Premiere, add the audio, which takes 50 years, and then toss it onto the internet. That is my usual process. That was not the case with this one. Each is hand drawn on construction paper with crayons. That could be fun. I'm sure I used to do a lot of flip books in like grade school, which were fairly similar to that. Where I would just have like a bunch of pieces of paper cut into like that big pieces and then stapled together and then just try and make a short little animation. I don't know if any of them still exist, but I did used to do that a lot. But this one was interesting because I was still learning how to animate in Photoshop while I was trying to make it. Like there's a lot of things that I did in this that I would not do anymore because but let's just watch through it real quick. Let me know if y'all have any questions, and then I can kind of break down some of the specific stuff that I wanted to talk about. Because there's some stuff in this. Hey! Hey, Johnny.
Look at me.
Hope your stream went well. We're just taking a look at my old animations and doing like a director's commentary thing about how bad they are and how I wish I could change them all. Guy with a nice fat braid, heck yeah. Yeah, it's the same thing you were talking about at the beginning of your stream, where like old stuff bad, but I still have a little bit of love for this, but there's parts of it I know I could do better. Hey, thanks for the follow, Skinny P. Yeah, exactly. It's like a bar that's slowly draining as time goes on, where it's like there's bits and pieces that I still love. So, okay. Of course, very short. I don't know why this has almost 700,000 views, because it's very so I can real quick, I'd like to show off so like I said, this was made for a class project. As such, I had a lot of options that I wanted to go about. This Animal Crossing was not my first pick for the thing I wanted to animate. I knew it had to be in Jeremy style for the assignment, but I managed to track down I spent like an hour searching through all of my sketchbooks earlier this afternoon, trying to track down where exactly I had written down my original ideas and sketches. As you can see, I had a few different ideas. One of which was obviously Katamari, because I was really into it at the time. You can see a little Link boy there, which I'm glad I didn't do, because like right after that, he released his the first part of his Ocarina animation, and I'm like, oh, that could have been a little bad, but also good. I'm just glad I didn't overlap him and do something that he was gonna do. Thank you, Skinny P. I had a bunch of choices. Like I have written down Kirby 64, Mario Bros. Wii, Ocarina of Time. Maybe might do it at some point once I get in a little farther from Jeremy's style. Thank you, Johnny. You're a true homie. Homie love always. And then just a bunch of other design type notes. And then I also managed to find how stuff you claim is bad. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Of course, you're gonna be your own biggest critic. That's just how it is being a creative. But you're always gonna find something you hate, and this is just essentially the stream is just me ranting about the stuff I hate. And then I also managed to find, because okay, so at the bottom you'll see I have it split between Katamari Damacy and Animal Crossing New Leaf. I was really close to doing a Katamari cartoon first. But I think like right after I decided to do, like right when I was deciding between Katamari and Animal Crossing, is when they announced that there was going to be an Animal Crossing coming to Switch. And I'm like, oh, I can kind of capitalize on that hype a little bit. it was either that or they were around the same time where it was like, oh cool, all these announcements are happening and I just happen to be working on this thing related to it. This is gonna be dope. Um, of course, I didn't anticipate it to get quite as popular as it did, but either way, also as you can see there were the first drawings for Isabel. Interesting to note that obviously this is the one that I ended up going with for the animation, but weirdly this one is closer to my current style, which I opened it. I went through the sketchbook earlier today and I'm like, huh, that's weirdly like looking forward into how I draw stuff, which I did not anticipate to be the case. Um, so I think that's the only physical media that I ever drew for it. Um, I'm pretty sure. But I think now we can kind of get into some of the nitty gritty, as it were, of how I actually made this thing. So I have on screen here, I have my absolute mess of a project folder for the actual animation. We can look into this real quick. Boop a doop boop. Here is all of the millions of completely unsorted files and just the absolute mess that is my organizational structure. It's very bad. But the one that we want to look at the most probably is just as an example of how absolutely unexperienced I was. At this point, I think I had been taught by my teacher. All of this animation was being done in Photoshop because at the time, the teacher that I was learning animation under absolutely hated Animate. And she prevented us from using it because using tweening and all of these different techniques is cheating. And if you're not doing frame by frame, it's not real animation. Which is incorrect entirely. But I think if we go into like one of these folders, okay, shot one. Each of the frames in that is a separate Photoshop file. Because this teacher didn't know what she was talking about, and I thought that this was correct. So if we like open up, it'll take a minute because my computer's slow. It's an absolute mess. I would literally have to I would make all of the different assets, like we'll see it in just a second once Photoshop stops having a seizure. Here we go. Here is the first frame of that first sequence, right? Pretty unassuming. We've got all of these different stuff. There's the explosion that I had to break down into frames and enable one in each of them. As well as the train, which is, I believe, just off screen. Yes, it is. And then, of course, I would duplicate this 001 Photoshop file, and then I would rename it 002. And I would move everything just a little bit. So as you can see, between these files, if we, let's, controls, nice, 50%, sorry, just so we can get a frame of reference. Like, as you can see, the train itself is moving just a little bit off screen in between these different Photoshop files, as well as the clouds are moving a little bit. This is not how this is supposed to work at all. This is the most inefficient way to do this and most size preventative. Nowadays, as we'll see in like the new animation, I have each shot as their own single Photoshop document that I just animate within, with the exception of a few still frames that are just PNGs on their own, but that's their own thing. So that is how I was doing shots back in ye olden times. It's very bad. Don't do that. And I think I did that all the way up to shot 4, maybe? I don't think so. This was only 16 frames. Unless it was. I guess it was. I did a few of them out of order because I inserted some stuff there in the middle that I didn't anticipate. Um, Another thing is I don't think that this had a storyboard. Or wait, I think I did a little bit of a physical storyboard for it if I can find it in this sketchbook of nightmares. Boop, boop, boop. I'm sorry, chat. I don't know how entertaining this is. Where was that drawing? No, not there. This sketchbook has seen some better days. I'll say that much. Where is storyboard? I know I found one. It's very basic and dumb. But it was here. Somewhere. Is it in here? Haha, I did. So I have here written down on a piece of paper a bunch of set pieces that I needed. This is very different from how I do things nowadays. Thank you, Fire Flame Spit. Welcome to the Quay cult. We're currently dissecting my old animation and determining how bad it is because it's not great. I had some ideas for bits written down, characters that I wanted to be in it that eventually didn't end up being in it, like Scoot, Nook, Tortimer wasn't in it. Just a bunch of stuff that I was very much anticipating being in there, but did not actually end up being there. Had some set pieces that did end up, but here we have the first part of the train approaching, and then when did I write do not let Griffin near this? That actually happened near the end of the second Katamari cartoon, or the second Animal Crossing cartoon. Words are hard. But I'm glad I managed to track this down because I know I did these, but I wasn't able to remember which sketchbook it was in, because at any given time I have like 5 different sketchbooks that I'll just forget in places. No, please, no. Once this cartoon is done, I'm taking a break because I need to focus on school. But besides that, this project did not have much of a planning process as much as the other one did, where I just had a few ideas. I don't like, I know I think I had somewhere something of like, oh, I want this, and this in it, but I don't think I ever actually wrote it down. I just kept most of it in my head and kind of was like, okay, what can I get done before the next deadline for the class? And then make it kind of be cohesive a little bit. Hi, Chris. You didn't miss much. Although I did go over the fact that at the beginning of the first cartoon, since my teacher was not very good at animating, all of the first few shots of the first cartoon, each frame was its own Photoshop document, where I would literally draw everything in one document, duplicate it, and then move everything a little bit, and then I forget what the exact process was. I think I literally imported each of the Photoshop documents in as a PNG or something like that. I don't know what this debug is. It's nothing, I guess. But it's very inefficient, where it's literally, I don't know if I still have them both up. But like, I would literally, you can see the train here is highlighted, and then this is the next frame where I moved it just a little bit, even though it's not visible in the cartoon. Um, so don't do that. That's very bad. As I showed, nowadays, each shot is its own Photoshop document that I just animate inside and then export as its own MOV, which is probably still isn't the most efficient way to do it. I probably should switch over to like Blender Grease Pencil or Animate itself, but I've been ruined by that teacher to animate in Photoshop, so that's where I'm sticking for now. Besides that, I don't know if there's many. Okay, real quick, let's see if there are any jokes that I wanted to dissect. I don't think there were too many that weren't. I remember, I do remember. I don't know if it's still here. I had, where would it be? Final shots. No, I had a cutout version of that. I had a cutout version of this without any text on it, where it was just a clipboard, Isabel's hand, and just white. That was a little bit of a meme for a while. In my private circles. Of course, we had to present on like what our influences were and what animator we chose. So I just had a bunch of screenshots from Scott and Jeremy, and weirdly enough, some Katamari stuff. I guess just because colorful. Also, let me know if you guys can't see this. I don't know if it's zoomed in too far. Ah, here it is. Just template. This was this was fun to Photoshop stuff into for a while. Go through at slowest speed. Okay. Let's go through at slowest speed. Yes. And that's gonna be nightmare sounds. I'm now noticing that there's a little black speck right there that I hate. I was actually really proud of this motion in particular, like how I remember my teacher was really surprised that I got that kind of like jump back on my own. I think there's a smear frame in there. Let's find out. Up. There is. Haha. Where it's like kind of blown back a little bit. I was really proud that I kind of figured out how to do smear frames on my own. I think there's a couple smear frames. But also, this might be the only instance where I like added a finger to the ball, and it doesn't make sense in retrospect. But, and there's another smear coming up in a sec. There we go. Some nice smears in this. I definitely would have done this a little better because it's a little obvious where like the previous frame is still there in that. You're not supposed to really do that. It also doesn't entirely go to the right spot, but it's fine. All things considered. I also probably should have had him looking a little bit more at the clipboard, but he's not really. Yeah, it's fine. Yes, comedy. This one was a little weird because I don't know how to lip sync very well. I've been getting some good practice with this next cartoon because there's some voice acting I've got to sync to, which I'm also getting used to. Overall, I think I was what shot is this? Is this shot 4? No, that's the wrong thing. Shot 4. Let's find out. No, that is not shot 4. Because I think this was still done in... Thank you, Kevin. I think this was still done in separate Photoshop documents. Which I think made trying to lip sync to audio very hard. Or at least I think it was. I don't know which shot that was. That's gonna bug me. Let me track it down real quick. Of course, we have Isabel right there. Final shots. Shot 2, 3. Shot 2, 4. Is that shot 2? Is that still shot 2? Shot 2, 4. Oh, this is what I did. So I guess I made Oh, that's right. I had to make it transparent for the background. Um, I made a bunch of different. Okay, let me preface this with reiterating real quick. This is not how you're supposed to animate. There are a billion better ways to do all of this. Because I was still learning at this point, and I was like, this feels inefficient. And then I taught myself better ways to do this. Um, with that out of the way, I made a different Photoshop document for each mouth sound. Let me pull this up on another screen so that I can just kind of open them. Here we have ooh and just regular O, and then and then ooh. That's supposedly L, and then S and ah. So, and then we have frames for actually sliding in. And then I believe I edited these in Premiere in the right order to match with the audio, which was a pain because you're supposed to be able to kind of follow the mouth sounds as opposed to just kind of doing them on their own. Either way, doing this was a nightmare, and I would not recommend it to my worst enemies. Um, yes. Okay. Let me put the other one back. Let's go back to the actual animation. I think I added those because that's more zoomed in and it has pupils. I think I did that for emphasis, but it doesn't look great. I don't remember how I did that. I think I did that in separate documents, maybe. Or I might have just done that in Premiere and kind of tracked the eyes. Either way, very bad. Uh this specific frame I find very funny. I don't know why, but I think this is funny. I think I have a screenshot of it just labeled Apple. Let me find it. Oop. Yeah, just Apple. Just Apple. I'm very funny. All right. Apple. Yes. This scene I really enjoyed making and I thought was very funny. The way that I got things to continue. It's weird. Okay, so there's some weirdly low resolution bits. That's just because I didn't know how Photoshop worked. And this whole thing was I forget what resolution this thing was made in. It was not made in a correct image size or anything that's normal. Yeah, this was made I think it's cuz the teacher wanted it to be 1440 by 1080. So it looks weird compared to everything else. Nowadays I animate in just straight 1080. Um but the way she wanted it was like weirdly square and I don't understand. Um yeah. The hit markers was one of one of the more appreciated jokes, which I'm very happy for. Um and flip. I probably could have animated that a little better, but again, I'm doing this during a school semester and trying to meet actual school deadlines. This shot was a nightmare because I you an important thing to keep in mind for this entire animation is I'm trying to do this on my admittedly not great MacBook that is at this point I think probably 3 going on 4 years old. It already had to have parts replaced. It's running at like 100 degrees if I have too much stuff on it, or if I try and do anything 3D modeling related. And trying to get it to be able to scrub a timeline or edit anything with an image of the size of this map was a nightmare. I think I have. Let's see, map. See, it'll open it great now because this computer is more powerful. But even here, I think yes. So I edited the whole thing in this Photoshop document. Let's see how big it is. It is 4320 by 3240. So it's fairly big. Like if I wanted to, I could probably print this on a shirt and it would look all right. I don't know why I'd want that, but I could. Um, Trying to edit this on my dying MacBook was horrible just because there's so many layers. This is when I kind of realized that I can just edit things in Photoshop's video timeline. Um, so if you ever wanted to know what the full zoomed out, it's probably gonna have a heck of a time trying to. Oh, that's right. It doesn't like the GIFs. I had to edit the GIFs in Premiere because Photoshop doesn't like actually playing GIFs. And then I think the actual teleporting I also had to do in Premiere because it's like its own separate video file. But if you wanted just a Photoshop of trees disappearing, here you go. And then I had to motion track how I wanted the camera to go around in Premiere, along with determining where the villager is actually appearing and making sure the explosions are in the right spot. All of these different things, and it was a nightmare. I think because I I don't know how motion tracking works. I think there's a frame in here where you can see like the black edge because I go, yep. So if you pay attention to this edge, it like kind of cuts off over here. Like it starts to go in a little bit because I don't realize where my edges are. I also wish I had hidden more things here. I just kind of put some trees and a couple houses down. But again, school deadlines. I don't know if it actually hits the top barrier. But there's a couple times where it zooms in on the wrong spots. And it's painfully obvious to me, but probably not to anyone else. Obviously. Jeez. Obviously, Nut Gang forever. What goes without saying. And then this one was fun. I liked animating this shot. Captain is just fun to draw in this style because I can just do a little bean shape and then a little curve at the top. There you go. You got Captain. And then I did some fun little overreaching with the hand. He like goes a little bit too far and then comes back in to start the engine. And I think it's really cool. What could have been done better is probably the boat itself. Because like I had to draw this line. So I drew it in this position, and then I was like, oh wait, I've got to make it like kind of go forward, don't I? So I had to finish out the boat. I think I did this shot like the night before. It was like, okay, have something new to show in class. And so I had to rush it a little bit. I also hadn't realized how smart objects work in Photoshop. So his pixels are all crispy. His lines are a little boiled. It's not great since I just plain rotated it. And then I think I just literally erased the bottom of the boat for that shot, and then he's gone. I had to make it so he's going so fast that he's just gone the next frame. Also really proud of this shot. Weirdly enough, I remember before I actually made it a shot, I like kind of, let me see if I can find it real quick. I had this as my desktop background for the longest time. It was just gotta find it. Oh yeah, I remember I had to. I posted a version of it as like a desktop background, but one of my friends complained about it being 1440 by 1080 because that's dumb, and so I resized it to the right size. That's why it's named Heck You Donnie. Backgrounds, no. I think it's probably stored locally on my laptop. Either way, I was really proud of that drawing. That background is very nice. Um, of course, we got our little stag beetle. Again, another shot that would have been drastically improved had I known about Photoshop Smart Objects not pixelating when you scale them up. Because this boy gets very pixelated when he gets scaled up. Like if you look at that, them some crisp pixels. Um, he just gets progressively looks worse and worse, and I wish I had been able to know about how to do that better. Fuzzier than the face right now. Yeah, exactly. Um, I liked this shot. This is the shot that I think this was the first shot to get like clipped on its own and posted without credit, which I know probably isn't something to be super proud of, but I'm proud of it for whatever reason. And then of course I don't know. I think this is a separate drawing of the boat, unless I literally just took the entire thing and flipped it. I don't remember if I did. Yeah, no, I just took the entire thing and flipped it. No, the hole's different. Yeah, no, I took the boat and flipped it. Um, Either way, I like this shot. I like the foam coming out. I was really proud of the boil on the sea. Obviously, there's some coloring mistakes, but what's she gonna do? Um, boop, 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 boop. The scream. I like crinkled Captain. He's very crispy. Um, Trying to get this like close in effect was way more of a pain than it probably should have been. Um, but regardless, I'm proud of it. This was also a fun one to do. You got another smear frame, just absolutely nightmarish, right about there. Um, I'm trying to think. For whatever reason, I love when characters blink one eye at a time. I just think that's the funniest thing. Um, and so Chris will know what this is. I think I literally just added him in Discord and was like, "Hey, send me a meme," and that's the first thing he sent. That is, yes, you do know that. That is still here. It's just I don't know if I can show this on Twitch. I'll just pop it up real quick. It's just a it's just a goat giving birth. I don't know why he had that image, but he did. And so it's immortal. Hi, how's it going? I'm breaking down I'm breaking down my animation. For better or for worse. Um Welcome to National Geographic. That's a goat giving birth. Um Either way. Is it a goat or a llama? I'm not actually sure. Um, Either way, like I said, that was just me being like, "Hey, send me a meme," and I got sent a meme, and I'm like, "I asked for it." Ah, yeah, that's fair. It is tall for a goat. Either way, that's there forever now. Fun thing about this shot. Um, so while I was working on this animation, I think I was like, going to a friend's place and we were driving near campus, and like by chance I looked at the car in front of us and I saw it was called a Villager. I believe it's a Plymouth Villager. I'm like, huh, I need a car for one shot. I didn't know that this thing was called a Villager. So here is right here, which I thought was really funny. I thought it was really clever for this. This is a Villager driving a Plymouth Villager. uh it's I don't know why nobody questioned like, hey, why is Villager driving a van, but that's why. It's because it's his namesake. um and then it's a good one. It does make sense. I remember being really proud of this shot, just because there were so many moving elements that I had to keep in time with. Like you've got all these bugs moving around, and you've got, I think, another smear frame of her coming out. That one's a little. Some of the smear frames are good. Some of them are just nightmarish. I'm glad I've progressively gotten better at them. Cause that's not cool. You've got all these different bugs moving in around. You've got the one that like crawls up from there and like goes behind the 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 wall behind her. Uh, all these different moving elements that I managed to coordinate. Obviously, there's some there's some funkiness because I forgot to color in parts of the dialogue box, but it's fine. I believe because we can take a look at the 50% world record version in a minute. Because there were two versions of the cartoon. There's the version that I submitted for class. Then there's the version that I went more in depth with and then uploaded to YouTube, which is the one that you guys know. I had the old version up on YouTube for the longest time, but people were getting confused and be like, "Hey, why is there two of them?" So I took the other one down. Um, I I don't know why I thought house go here, okay? Was very funny at the time. Uh, Obviously Nook dies. Some nice smearing, some unnecessary smearing. Like I probably could have just drawn it long and not separated it like that, and it would have looked better. But I think it looks all right. And obviously, I had one person comment on on this video being like, "Stop making you die jokes. They're not funny anymore." I think they're very funny, and they can shut up. Um. Oh no. Um. They are funny, and I'm gonna be honest. Upon upon like the more I watch this video, I've watched this video I don't know how many times since I uploaded it. I get less and less of a fan of the ending because after I submitted the 50% version for class and uploaded it to YouTube, um I just completely lost my train of thought. After I finished that, uploaded it, I was like, or no. After I turned it in, I was like, this ending is kind of a cop out. Because I believe it ends with a "you died," and that's just the end. Um, like there's no shot after that. I was like, huh, I kind of want to go back in and do some more work to it, add some stuff there at the end. And then once the semester ended and I had free time to do it, I'm like, I don't really want to do this anymore. Um, so I added more stuff to it, but I think it was more of a cop out than it probably should have been, which is the just giving Tom Nook the money, waiting a day, and your house is built. Um, which is the ending of First Debt Percent, which retroactively makes more sense because for the longest time it was named Animal Crossing Speedrun Animated 100% world record or any percent. I can't remember. And that didn't really make sense. And people were like, hey, why is it named that? Because it's not really a speed run. It's more of just a story of the villager going nuts. And I'll admit the title doesn't make the most sense, but in general, I'm proud of it. I don't know. I I need to figure out how to move these things around. I did not make this credits sequence in anticipation of needing to upload an annotation to it. But yes, obviously thank you to Animal Crossing Hell because they were very supportive of the little bits and pieces that I uploaded while I was working on it. Um, I don't remember why I chose this as the ending. I think I just found this image and thought it was funny, and I I tried to make it deep fried there at the end, but I couldn't quite figure out how to make it right. So I just kind of cranked the sharpness and hoped that it would make it look a little funny. I don't know. Uh, in general, what do I think of this cartoon? It's a good starting point. I don't know why it exploded the way it did. There's parts that I think are really funny, like all of retail. All of retail I'm very proud of. And this specific section of just blowing up a tree and getting a bunch of apples and then no scoping a present. Um Overall, it's not my favorite, not my least favorite. I'm proud of parts of it. And obviously, as you can tell by the almost 700,000 views, other people like it too for some reason. Uh, Let me think if there's anything else that I want to show off from here. I guess we can take a look at the 50% version and how its ending is different. Oh god. Because I don't know how many people have seen the 50% version. Obviously I named it the 50% version because it's not. God. Okay. Really quick, I want to mention the fact that I cannot listen to anything from the new Leaf soundtrack anymore. I just can't. Because the amount of times I've just heard the first few seconds of that while working on it, it plays every time I open my own channel to do something because it auto plays. It's a nightmare. I can't do it anymore. We can skip around to the end. Oh yeah, so it changed. So the big difference between the 50% version, Jesus, turn that down, is she just dies at the end. It's nowhere near as funny because you don't get the. That's weird. I thought it ended a little later than this. But I added the entire section of her offering the bells afterwards, I guess. Also, this face is very funny. I'm a big fan of this face. Um, it literally just ends there, and that's what the fact that I managed to get a full almost minute of animation done in one. To be fair, Jim, this animation is over like a year and a half old. It's been some time. But also, hi, Jim. Thank you for coming to stream. Um, I think that's really the only difference is that it just cuts off before. The fact that I managed to do literally a minute of animation in the span of a semester was, well, less than a semester since it was the final project. I didn't start working on it until like halfway through. Of course, Jim. Hopefully I can provide actual entertainment as opposed to just cringe memes and looking at bad art. Hopefully. No promises. Okay. If anyone has questions about the cartoon, feel free to let me know. Like I said at the beginning, feel free to use the highlight my message thing in the friendo points just so that I can see it a little better. I don't know how fast chat will be going or not fast. Either way, it helps my attention. Helps me try and pay attention to the things that are going on. Because otherwise, I think that's about it for this. Thanks, Griffin. Thank you so much. I always appreciate it. I think that's about it, unless people wanted to see the premiere document for whatever reason, which is literally just all of these different shots laid together. Will this go into the cinematic Quaverse? Maybe. Um, I'll admit I had an idea for tying the Katamari cartoon into the Animal Crossing one, but the process for finding audio for this cartoon was a matter of me Googling blank sound effect, finding a YouTube link, and using YouTube to MP3. Which is not how you're supposed to do it. I've gotten much better about recording my own Foley in these past couple cartoons, but like a lot of it is weirdly enough, so trying to find audio for Animal Crossing New Leaf is a nightmare because usually you can find stuff on like the sounds resource, but it just doesn't have anything. There's a few sites that um have like specific, like I downloaded these from that site that have like some specific sound effects like that. I don't think I ever used that. um I don't think I used that either, weirdly enough. um Used that. um but a lot of it I had to, I don't know if it's still here, but I literally downloaded a long play of Animal Crossing New Leaf and had to like watch through half an hour of footage to try and find one isolated sound effect. I think it was was it the pocket? It might have been the pocket sound effect that I just could not find anywhere. Um there was one, I forget, I don't remember which one it was. I wish I did, but I just couldn't find the sound effect that I needed. Um like I've managed to find a few things from Pocket Camp. Like I think if Isabel talks at some point, I think that's where I got that from. But otherwise, good lord, this was a nightmare to find stuff for. Like you got stuff like I have a downloaded MP3 of the kid getting smacked with the spatula and then screaming Vine, of course, because you can't be an animator without downloading a Vine's audio. Um, Stuff like, oh, that's right. I had because I wanted it to be terminal montage AF. I needed to find the specific explosion sound effect that he used. So I had to find which animation that was the most isolated in, and then downloaded the audio from it. So here I have the entire audio from the Breath of the Wild speedrun video. And then I trimmed it down to where I could find the most isolated explosion, which is here. Like if you hear at the very end of it, you can hear some footsteps in the background. Like you can hear like a doot doot. I It's the best that I could do because I could not track that down for the life of me. Um but yeah, audio editing in general is not my strong suit whatsoever. So a lot of it was literally just googling around to see if anyone. Yeah, I know it's not noticeable, but if you really listen to it, it's definitely there. The objective is to make it not noticeable. Also, hi Britain, thank you for being here. Other than that, let me know if you have questions or stuff that you wanted to see, because otherwise, I think I will move on to the second video. You have a second for me to take a sip of water because I've been talking for a lot. And my throat is dry. I don't know if the second video will be as interesting since I did a lot of it on stream, but regardless, there should be some people here that don't exactly know how all that went down. What's your next animation? Is it going to contain forklifts? I did hide a forklift in Katamari. I don't know why I'm getting Instagram notifications. So spoiler for Katamari, but I did hide a forklift in there. Nah, it's fine, Jim. Don't worry about it. I never do either. Just more if there's stuff you'd like to see or like specific assets you wanted to look at or specific shots you wanted to know how I did. Either way, it's fine. Let me real quick let me go ahead and mute these things because let me just real quick. I don't know if I can change. Dang it, Griffin. Okay, I don't know how to turn it off right now. I really need to figure that out. I'm just gonna have you on good faith that you won't do that again. Anyway, I guess we can move on to the second cartoon now. Um, this is the one that I go back and forth as to whether or not I like the first one or the second one more. But I think it's all right. I think it's okay. We still have the slow speed on. This should be fine. Um, like I said, most of this was done on stream and or with a lot of viewer input. So I don't know how interesting this one will be to break down, but regardless, I'm proud of this. I think it's essentially the perfect step up from what the other one was. Um there's still some stuff I would change, like there's some settings and whatever that I would mess with and I'd color it a little better. And obviously there's some story beats that I could have planned out a little more. But in general, I like it. Hi Josh. Um Obviously, so I've slowly gotten worse and worse about hiding stuff in the background because I love doing that. But I keep forgetting. This shot specifically, I know Doo Airlines, of course, classic joke. We got Solaire in the sun. I forget. I think that was something suggested by stream. We've got Barreled. We've got Nut Gang on the tree. If you can't see it, Nut and then Gang because of course Nut Gang. For anyone that does, for anyone that doesn't understand what Nut Gang is, um, in the group Animal Crossing Hell, which I joined specifically to kind of promote the first cartoon, and subsequently just kind of fell in love with the group because they're all very nice people. Shout out to Animal Crossing Hell. I love you all. There was a war at the time going on about what the best fruit was, and there was one single guy, Derek Cole, that was absolutely adamant about coconuts being the best fruit in Animal Crossing. I joined the Nut Gang and was a valiant supporter of everything the Nut Gang stands for as an anti-establishment kind of kind of thing. So I've hidden it in both cartoons, and I don't know if I've hidden it in the new one, but I'm probably gonna have to go back and change that. I'll have to find a tree to write it in or something. Even though it's not Animal Crossing related. Um, Also, I know this was also done on stream, but if you didn't notice it, I'm prepared to have this ruined for you. The flag waves in loss. So you got the one line, the two lines, and the L. If you missed that, that's the flag waves in loss. I'm sorry. I think that was specifically suggested by Chris. Um, I'm sorry for ruining that for you. Yes, it goes so deep. This shot alone, I think this is the first shot that I did on stream, and it was like, all right, chat, what do you want to hide here? Let's get to it. Um, this is another one that was done on stream, but I don't think it has as many memes in it. Like you've got the little smiley face up in the sky, just because I felt like putting a smiley face up there, of course, as you do. Um, Weird. I don't know why I didn't hide that as well as I should have. I don't think I've ever noticed that before. Now I'm going to talk about the doo-doo that was on your screen. Listen, I won't talk about the doo-doo if you won't talk about the doo-doo. Like obviously these cracks were drawn over. I wish I had hidden that better. I've not noticed that until now. There's a single frame in here where the villager is just tiny standing on this pole that I really like. Just boop, there he is. There he be. He's right there. He's just hanging out. Oh god, we unmuted. Huh. And of course, gotta hide things in plain sight. So we've got Minecraft wood, just wood, a beaver, Yes, amiibo skill. God, I would love like a gremlin villager amiibo. This was freeze it on just the right frame where we've got Isabel, who is a bell. Um, this is before. So I've slowly started drawing. I still draw the ball hands like this. Um, Villager has mastered the Shogotsu Satsu. Yes. I still draw ball hands like this just because the hands are hard and I like the little balls. Don't take that out of context. Um, but I wish I had drawn these specifically like attached to the arm. I've started doing it where it's like literally part of the arm and it just kind of goes to a rounded edge. I'm sure you are. Um, he forgot about that. Another little gremlin villager. I don't know why in this first shot I decided to give him a mouth. But that never happens in the rest of the animation. He just has a mouth here. I don't remember why. I think I was trying it out, but I'm not a fan. Um, of course we got all of our friends, Minecraft Wood, a beaver, Isabel, Tiny Villager, more wood, Woody, of course, Wood Gun. I think that was suggested by chat too. This is all back when I was animating on YouTube. We got a butterfly. Catch the butterfly. Catch this other butterfly with the. Ah, dang it! I messed it up. That's why it looks so weird because there's still a single frame of him being that butterfly. Okay, so it's just that shot. Anyway, I'll stop nitpicking myself now. Catch a spider. Gotta catch a butterfree. Of course, the one from Bye Bye Butterfree specifically, because I need to make you sad. The caterpillar from A Bug's Life, obviously. And here we get to the piece de resistance. This excavator was such a pain to try and animate. Good lord, just trying to get it looking. That is a lot of clams. Just trying to get it look okay was a nightmare. And I will say for the record, there is a that's a lot of clams joke in the Katamari cartoon, just so that gets you to shut up. Um, well, it probably won't get you to shut up, but the way that I managed to animate this, I'm honestly very proud of, and it looks very good for being done in like 3 hours. Just the softness of the dirt. I do something very similar in the Katamari cartoon with like displacing a lot of dirt. And I think I've slowly gotten better at it. I'm very happy. Um that's a lot of clams. And of course, Gulliver is dead. Obviously. Here we have this single frame of Siren Head, because that was a thing at the time, and I felt like hiding him there. That was like the big meme when I was still making this. Um just a single frame of Siren Head. And of course, here I don't actually know if that single frame is still in the crafting for 10 hours or not. I don't remember if that's the case. We can take a look after this if we want. There was some like just the craft of this shot was not the best. Because I know I like drew it weird and I felt lazy, so I had to like crop select the I accidentally drew the villager on the same layer as the crafting table, and I had to like rip it out. So there's some coloring errors that go on here. Obviously I just could have done a better job. We got crafting bait. We got crafting more bait. Got crafting more bait, I think. Yep, more bait. I think only one of these is a joke. I think it's just a thing of goldfish crackers. Uh yes, obviously there's the goldfish. Um yes, padding. You've seen through my ruse. Well, padding for a point, because I'm trying to make a commentary about how bad Nintendo's crafting is in Animal Crossing. Because holy cow, does that take years to do. Um, this shot, I wish I had inserted a joke into, because it's just kind of here that he's just like waiting outside with a bunch of bugs, which I guess kind of is the joke. This cartoon wasn't quite as jokey as I had anticipated. There's a lot of shots that are just kind of there to try and tie the story together, but I don't know how successful they are. Um, no, not political commentary, please. Um, this was another one I wish I had just. A lot of this cartoon comes down to I wish I had taken more time on it. Because like there's some stuff in this background that are a little smudgy. Um, there's some aspects of all of this that just kind of feels a little rushed to me now. I think. Oh, that's right. Really quick, let's go back to the other cartoon. Let me go ahead and do it this way. Boop, boop. I forgot one hidden joke that I put in here. I apologize. In retail, I don't know if this was in the old version or not, but while it is filling up with bugs, we have in one frame Anthem because it stinks. I completely forgot about that until now. I don't think anyone's ever commented on it or noticed that it's there, but for a single frame, you got Anthem because I don't know. I thought it was funny. I had also just purchased Anthem recently. It was like $10. I was like, huh, this really wasn't worth the $10. Yeah, it is that game. It's about to be officially killed. Yeah, I completely forgot that I hid that there. So there's that. I guess I got reminded by the bug flooding scene. Here we have another smear frame that honestly isn't that great. Not gonna lie. I probably could have done a better smear frame. And then we got Daisy May, who's really fun to draw. She's very cute. And we got her snot puddle, which was also fun to make. Here's just my hand. This is just a photo of my hand that I edited in. I wish this specific one went a little faster. Because I know it's even though it's. I also wish I had put the thumb behind it. I guess I hadn't figured out masking yet. Regardless. Yes. There we have Glenn, resident father of Animal Crossing Hell. As always, gotta love Glenn. This is another one I was pretty proud of. Yeah, it does. It is that whole shot is like a SpongeBob reference, essentially, of just like something real coming into the animated space and being like, it's not supposed to be there. I'm really proud of this breaking door. You do have a single frame where like the entire window thing is gone, but I think it's fine. It's just one frame. And then I wish he'd like slid in a little slower, and like I added like a concrete dragging sound, just because his legs don't move and he just kind of appears. But overall, over the past few animations, I've come to realize that I really like to animate things just shattering. Just from one frame being like a full thing. There's a lot of that in the Katamari cartoon. Where it's just like a full thing and then all of a sudden it's bits and pieces just crashing through stuff. I think that's really fun. Of like trying to break it down into these little pieces that are their own separate thing and then animating them just shattering out. I've had a lot of fun doing that in the past. Timbo. Yeah, some of the jokes in this are a little weaker than I probably would have liked. A lot of it is just okay, I come up with a funny looking shot and then I'll come up with dialogue or a reason for it to be like that I think is pretty funny. Like it could work, but it's not my top tier work. This I really like. This was such a fun shot to do, even though it took me literal months coming up. Um like I could have done more with the twins and having them be twins. This shot was a nightmare. Like I said with the other one. We got Matthew coming out first, obviously. Then we got Griffin and Else. We got Betsy, and then we just let the floodgates go. Glenn's back there too. I wish I had hidden him less. And then we got a few frames of T-Pose Austin. And just everyone. These were sourced from Animal Crossing Hell. I think I did about 40 of them, give or take. I still have, if I can pull it up, this one. I still have the references from all of the villagers that I had offered to me and drew a bunch of. Like, I selected a bunch of them. Like, if we look at, there's Betsy's, there's Judy's, there's Matthew's. And then I think I literally posted in the group being like, hey, send me a picture of your villager. You might get to be in a cartoon. And I just downloaded all of the images that were sent to me. Apologies if you sent me one and I didn't get to it. I spent literally like probably a full month on this shot and still didn't get all of the villagers that I would have liked. But overall, I'm proud that the shot exists at all. And then I had a really hard time trying to figure out how I wanted to end this. Like, if we really quick look at the storyboard for it, we have a sketch of planes coming over with the villagers in the shot. Let me see, where's the storyboard? We have this shot right here of just planes coming over and dropping off villagers, and like a World War II docking boat with just people coming off of it. But I toned it down because I think the big struggle with this cartoon, I'm sorry that I keep going off on tangents, was that my other cartoon had just started going off. I'm like, oh shoot, New Horizons is out. I should do a cartoon about that. But I also had to balance it with trying to do other work and trying to get it out in a timely manner so that Animal Crossing itself was still relevant and hadn't died off. And also capitalizing on the hype that the other cartoon had garnered. Like, people were still... It still was getting like 1,000 views a day, give or take. I think it still is. I'm not sure. I haven't checked on it in a while. But just the struggle of trying to do what I wanted to do creatively. Dang it, Jim. Really? Now? I don't know where the hard hat is. Hold on. There it is. Dang it, Jim. How could you? Anyway. Regardless. Take out my Jim, I'm glad you're excited for stream, but good lord, you're the worst. So the struggle with this was I wanted to do a bunch of things creatively that I just didn't get a chance to do because I wanted it to come out in a timely manner and not take 50 years. Thank you, Griffin. Boop, 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 boop. He's hanging out back here. He's very tired. He's had quite a day of me trying to... I've basically used the space of my table so much today that he's been like all over the room sitting around. Yes, should I put on Mini Quay's hard hat? Hold on. I don't know if he'll stay up with it. Boop. Try and do it without yanking my stuff around. I don't know if he'll actually sit up with it. We'll find out. He is holding my drink from last night that I didn't finish. Oh well. It should be fine. He is also safe. Okay. Anyway, like I was saying, um, there's a bunch of stuff that I wanted to do with this that I didn't get a chance to, and I'm a little sad about. It is a Seagram's wine cooler that you spy because last night was stressful. Uh, and I needed it after spending like 7 hours editing audio because the Katamari cartoon is very close to being done. But audio editing and trying to not hate the voiceover that I've done myself and trying to edit it so that it all sounds all right is stressful. In general, um, I came up with the glitch idea, I think, a little bit out because it was originally just gonna end with the shot of the beach, and it was just gonna cut to credits. Uh, hi Griffin. Uh, but then I came up with the glitch out thing. Or no, I think it was just gonna end with this glitch out, and then I came up with the parts that come after it. This is part that I kept separate. Like after the glitch out is when I was like, okay, I'm gonna finish the cartoon on my own time and keep the rest of it secret, and you guys are gonna have to wait till I release it to see this part. Because at this point, Griffin had contributed so many jokes to it that he thought were funny that it didn't feel like my own, so I wanted to see how I could do adding jokes myself. And I think I did okay. Like, I know Tom Nook stealing your knees isn't the funniest, and I probably could have executed better. I do like using Squidward walking sounds for eye blinks. I think that's the pinnacle of comedy. Um, there's some parts that I do different. I do like. Did I do like a front shot? Oh, I did. Oh, I don't remember doing that. I don't remember drawing this frame. Oh, Quay from the front is terrifying. Because I like tried to do the flip of like my little front things. Oh, it's bad. Like the eye smear is fine. Yeah, no, don't. You got eviscerated, Griffin. Stop posting links, you nerd. Um, but overall, I think the shot's all right. There's some stuff that I do. This is actually based on my actual router. Um, specifically like the three antennas and like the tapered edge. Um, I think this frame on itself is very funny, and then the hollow eyes. It could have been executed a little better. I think it's fine. Um, of course, most of this is just me being like, oh, I think this sucks. I wish I was a better artist. But, in general, I don't hate this cartoon. I think there's a ton of things I could have done better. Like, why is Quay here in a gray outline? Why is that a thing? Everything else is in a black outline. I could have just given myself like a light tan stroke around myself and it would have been fine. I wish I had drawn KK a little better. He looks a little here. Regardless, I enjoy it. Of course, one of the best jokes of any of my cartoons is the credits of just adding whatever. Yeah, that was probably my thing. He does look like he's got like a kid inside of him fueling him. Uh, I retroactively dedicating this to my fish. Rest in peace. He has since died. Um, but I'm glad he's here in these credits. This makes me very happy. Uh, yeah. Let me get some F's in chat for the fish. That thing lasted like I think I got him like first year of college. Or well, Chris won him at a carnival for me. Yeah, Chris won him for me in like first or second year of college, and he only died like maybe, I think he died at the beginning of the pandemic, give or take. Um, yes, Chris X Chris Europe beats OTP. Yes, we hang out a lot because he lives only a few streets away. Um, and then I was kind of hoping that this would incentivize people to follow me on Twitch, but not many people made the crossover from YouTube to Twitch, which is fine. It's all right. Um, posting this in the credits is of course a mistake because nobody stays and watches the credits. I try to incentivize it by having things after the credits, like this cartoon does, where people will like, oh, stay and watch through. Uh, but it's fine. Um, like I remember I did a stream immediately after this cartoon release. And I was so prepared for this to be this massive stream of having like, oh, I'll get like 100 new followers and a bunch of subs and it'll be really cool. And then it was just me and my friends hanging out and I doodled some Animal Crossing stuff, which is still fun. It was a great time. But I definitely oversold how well this cartoon would do. Because the other one did so well. And people like New Horizons. It's really good. Um, it's fine. I'm I'm not bitter, I promise. Uh, and then I think this joke came off a little wrong, because I really enjoy the Doom and Animal Crossing memes. They're really fun, and I didn't mean any ill will with this, but I think I came across as a little too sarcastic with haha funny Doom joke. Um, I wish I had done a different font because this is just the default Premiere font. Um, but regardless, I like this as an end credits screen because I remember when I first concepted the cartoon itself, I was like, oh, I can put a Doom joke somewhere, and then I got to the end of editing the cartoon together and being like, oh, I didn't hide a Doom joke anywhere, and being like, oh, okay, I can just throw it in as the end credits. And by that time, the Doom jokes had gotten a little stale. They're still funny. Yeah, exactly. It got old real quick when it was like the only joke that was being made, and so I did this as a meme. But now I think they're pretty funny. Nowadays, I think it is the peak of comedy. Um, okay, that is. If you can't tell, I've been watching the fan dubs a lot. Um, it's all my recommendeds. So for this cartoon, I did something unprecedented and actually storyboarded it. I remember there was a YouTube stream where I just spent the whole thing coming up with ideas. I don't know if any of them are here. Yes, I do. I have notes. Um, I have some notes written down here of some bits. I'm sure there's another document somewhere that has a bunch of other stuff written down, but I think this is stuff that was suggested. Or just thinking out loud. I do have one. I was so around the time that I was starting this cartoon is when I had my one sketchbook that kept falling apart. So all I have in terms of physical doodles for this cartoon is like this one page that tore out of it, of just some like a buff villager. I really liked drawing the Dodo airport. I think it's really cool. It's got some nice shapes to it. And then just some written down stuff, like some bits I wanted. Like I really early on, I was like, "Oh, seaplane, it's at least a C plus. That is a top tier joke, and no one can convince me otherwise." Um, have player crashes into airport, bursts through door vibrating like the other one. Catch every bug, hit a tree once, and like a million wood comes out. That got changed. I think that would have been funnier if he just like big swing and then a bunch of wood comes out. But I do like the rapid punches. Um, that's all I have in terms of physical media for it. The rest was all done digitally. Um, so we've got stonks. That was a big meme at the time because the stonk market, finally people were starting to get back Yes, exactly. That would have been hilarious, but it's a lot of animating. This one actually had a dang story already dictated. Um, what am I disabling? I'm disabling notes. Some of this got changed, like some of the order of it got altered. Uh, I forget exactly what. There's some stuff here that got added here in the middle. I forget exactly what. I think this just comes later on. I completely forgot to have a fishing scene. See, like there's so many things that I wish I would have added um after the fact, but I just don't have the forethought to do these things. And of course we've got SpongeBob style hyper realistic hand. Jay's price is 700 bells. Freaking out at please close the window. All the villagers, and then I just kind of ended it there because I couldn't figure out what to do, and then bopping to a Siva Gunner rip of the KK version of the Wii theme because I thought that was funny. Um, uh, Also shout out to Siva Gunner. They got some great rip. I wish there were more Katamari rips, or Katamari remixes. I'm sad there aren't as many as there are. I've tried to fit a few in here and there, but I haven't been able to find as many. Like I wish they had at least one Lonely Rolling Star, but there's just nothing. It makes me sad because I have to use the actual Lonely Rolling Star, which is a fantastic song. You literally, while I was making this cartoon, you could not find a day when I was not listening to Lonely Rolling Star because that is just a great song. Um, but regardless, this one was probably the most planned out, although it um I don't want to say formulaic, more in the fact that I planned it out one specific way, and then it got executed that way without many changes. Uh, Outside of that, there wasn't too much going on. Um, like obviously I added the whole ending, but other than that, it's pretty faithful to these storyboards. Um, like some of these are literally shot for shot. Like literally, I just took the background, may have like scaled it up a little bit, and then threw it into a new document and drew it out. Um, but yeah, um, I don't know if there's too much interesting shot wise to show off, other than the fact that yes, I had. Oh, that's right, I can show this off. So when I first went to do it, when I first went to make the animation, I was like, huh, Photoshop is probably not the best program to do this in because it's not exactly meant for animation. So I'll try and relearn Animate. I had used Animate before on one of my Scott Falco animated, and I knew basically nothing about it. Um, I essentially just used it as Premiere in that I was like drawing things in Photoshop and importing them. Um, because I'm not a fan of Animate's brushes at all. And with this, it was still the case. Uh, I realized very quickly that I was not happy with how this was going to end up looking because of how poopy Animate's brushes are. Let me see if I can. I don't actually know how far I got. I think I literally just. Oh, I did get pretty far. I think I tried to make the whole thing in Animate. There's some changes that were done, like some shots that were altered. Like some of this is literally just the sketches and then changes to the sketches. Like that that motion itself is a, these are like their own much better framed, honestly, shots. Um like this is a little better. You don't get any of the edge stuff, but I think that works well on its own. Um like these are their own drawings that never appear anywhere else. Where I kind of got here and then gave up. And I was like, this ain't gonna work the way that I would hope it would. And why am I doing an animatic in here when I know I'm just going to do it in another program? Anyway, so this is the version of it that never was. I just couldn't. I may come back to animate at some point and try and do something in it since it's just a little more mainstream. But for now, that's something that never was. Really quick, I'm going to take a break real quick. Feel free to pop some questions in the chat. I need to go refill my water. Talk amongst yourselves, ask questions, stuff you want to see from the animation, and I will be right back. Ugh. All right, chat. Sorry about that. I return. Hi everyone. Let me real quick check up with what was talked about. You know what? I don't have school tomorrow. I probably will. Uh, I'll probably drink the Kool-Aid. Yeah, the glass bottle Kool-Aid. Uh, play 14. I would if I had. Oh, hey, real quick, I want to show this off after doing absolutely nothing. Here's a reason why I don't use Flash. It crashed while I was sitting here doing nothing. It decided to not work. I'm not gonna send a crash report. I'm just gonna let that sit there. Thanks, Flash. Yeah. Uh, 14 animation. Uh, that's fair. They are they do want content. I'll think about it. I don't know if I'd have anything to contribute to the 14 discussion in general, but I'll consider it. Um, yeah, let me real quick look at uh anything that might be interesting to show off. God, I wish I had time to catch up. I just don't. Um, let's see. Obviously, one of the more interesting things was the literal folder of people's Animal Crossing villagers. Outside of that, there isn't really too much to show off about this one. It went. I know about the demo. I know how far the demo goes. Um, Outside of the stuff I've already shown, there isn't really too much about it. It was fairly. I don't want to say typical. I'm not playing WoW either. Um, of course we have. Let me close out of that. We have this. We have that, which I made immediately after animating that, which I'm very proud of. Um, let's see. I don't think we have anything really else to show off. Obviously plenty of this that was hidden at the end of the Chris Crafts for 10 hours. I went ahead and just shoved this at the end with like a you done it sound effect. And that's about it. Yeah. We've got final render, which is not the final render. The final render, I believe, is title card 1. Yes, this is the final render. I forget what I missed at the end of final render, but it's not the right one. This is the right one. Aside of that, there's not really too much interesting. Everything went fairly normal. Like everything, let's see, what's one of the more complex shots? Let's see. Shot 2. There was a version of this without barreled, but it was suggested to add barreled to make it more interesting because I hate barreled. So I added barreled. And that's the version without barreled. And then of course we have the version with him. I did make this logo intro that I never used, which isn't very good because like some of the colors are off. I've been thinking about adding one to the intro of the new one that I haven't made yet, but who knows? What else do we got? I don't really have too much that's interesting. I can show off shot 11, which has all of the different wood parts, and of course all of these different sections of Timbo talking. All the dialogue boxes were done in Premiere because trying to mask out text in Photoshop is a pain. Put it after a cold open so people who steal. uh, I wish. That is actually a good idea. Although my cold open is kind of set where it is. Yeah, take care. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you found some of this entertaining. I'm trying to find. Okay, so here is all of the different door shards. We've got 5 different layers that each, like if we select this one, all these were manually keyframed to look like they were exploding out. It'll probably take a minute to load because I've got 5 billion things open. Like I've got all of these different shards that kind of exist on their own to various degrees that I'm very proud of. I've become very good at manually keyframing natural motion, especially with things that are exploding. And I think I did a good job. There's some parts that I would change, like obviously this piece doesn't have a line at the bottom of it because I didn't draw it underneath there, but it's fine. It's excusable. Um, Outside of that, I don't really have too much more to show off unless people want to see the backgrounds for whatever reason. Um, we do have this, which was done in this as opposed to Premiere. Um, boop, boop, boop. Um, yeah. Like I said, this one's very simple, so there's not really much interesting to look at outside of um, Steam failing to connect. Um, Stream is still fine. Cool. Um, I guess we can look at the the Premiere file, I guess. If that's something that people would be interested in seeing. Again, if people had questions, just let me know. I can answer literally anything about these. Um, Anything people might be interested in seeing. Uh, all of the audio that's not there anymore. Um, I think this cartoon took about like 3 or 4 months. Which in comparison to the new one is not. Can we listen to the fingy crap on crap? I did. Oh, never mind. I'll save that for another director's commentary track because I was gonna give a spoil for the Katamari one, but we can talk about that later. Um, you can listen to the fingy track. The fingy track is. I forgot that it was given. It was given metadata, where it's literally just Griffin's finger cracking. Album My Bones, contributed by Griffin Voiles. It's just Griffin's fingers cracking. Absolutely nightmarish. Thank you for your contribution to society. Um, it's not too much to talk about. Most of the time went into audio editing, to be completely honest. Um, Because like once all the animation is done, it's all broken into shots. I can just essentially, I can trim stuff if it needs to be trimmed. I can layer things that need to be layered. Like for this, I had to do all of the dialogue stuff and make it appear like it does in the game, at least a little bit. Some of it's a little off because I just kind of keyframed the beginning and the end and just kind of called it a day and hoped it looked all right. Um, oh, some of the audio is still there. Regardless, I had oh boy, the Twitch logo is missing. Um, but yeah, this was all in all, I think this was a perfect middle step for me of like going from this is the perfect mid ground between the old animation and the Katamari animation, which I think is a step up from this. Oh, we've got the whole media. It's funny that the disconnected screen is disconnected. Yes, the missing link. This is the perfect middle ground between the two. Where there's still a lot of stuff that I would change and that isn't very technically well done. Like there's a lot of the coloring is outside the lines if you care about that. Stuff like that. Little nitpicky things. Um yeah. Um I don't really have too much more to say about it. I already kind of broke down all of the specific jokes. I am proud of the me looking at the screen. I think that's very funny. Um, I do have that as just a drawing if people want it. I forget where it is. There it is. Just look at that. Everyone's favorite. With the goldfish. Oh yeah, there's a goldfish in my beard. I forgot about that. It doesn't really come across as well as it should. Um, just like with everything else, I was a little pressed for time, a little rushed. Um, Whereas with this past one, I've been more focused on making it look good. But yeah, and like keeping everything uniform and it's trying to stay on model as opposed to sometimes being a hollow circle eye and sometimes being closed circle eye and other times just yeah. Also, Chris Q discussed. Um, of course. Just trying to stay consistent and keeping it funny. Um, yeah. I don't really think I have too much more to talk about. Um, yeah. Did people have questions? Or was this just more like a watch Chris ramble about the things that he's made and point out all of his references kind of thing? Um, because either one is fine. I just didn't. Since this is a charity incentive, I don't want to go away from this without making the people happy. I guess since y'all paid money for it. What's my worst file name sin? Um, like specific file name or file name conventions? Because file name conventions is definitely like I have shot 8 underscore 2, which is just fine. Worst file name. Um. Hmm. In any of these? I don't know if there's a worse one in here. Um. bu- 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 duh, duh, duh. I don't know. That one's just named MLG. Um. I don't know that any are specifically bad. I don't know why this meme is here. I think I made this meme at the same time, where this is just a charge blade with infinite sharpness. I thought it was funny. I don't know why that's there though. Um, worst probably. I don't know if it counts as worst, but it's probably heck you, Donnie. Just because Donnie wanted this in a specific size, and it's still crispy at the edges. Like I couldn't quite figure out resizing for whatever reason. I do have this, which I haven't shown before, of me like right after the animation. I wanted to do like a drawing with all of the characters in it, and I quit halfway. So these are just drawings of the characters immediately after I came off of the cartoon. And they're all right. Villager is very off model. I don't think I ever drew him with that kind of mouth. Um, they are ghosts. They do not have a soul. This was also drawn on one layer, which is a sin. They represent my abandoned dreams. Uh, Currently I have no abandoned dreams because my dreams are doing the Katamari cartoon. Uh, Worst file name. It's probably Heck You Donnie. Because otherwise it's all businessy, like. Or no, maybe I might have a bad sound one. Um. Because most of the other ones are literally just. Um. Shot 1, shot 2, final, shot 2, whatever. All that kind of thing. Um. Do, do, do. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's really anything super bad. Uh, there's Nook Slap. There's Coming For You, where it's literally just this on loop for whatever reason. Oh, I think I rendered it as a video and then scaled it up in Photoshop. That's really bad. That's not good. Um, this one is literally just called Deforestation. Where this? Oh yeah, this is the final layered together with all of the stuff, all of the trees being destroyed, or at least the beginning of it. I think this isn't the complete one, but either way, we got Slappies, where it's just bonk, just Slappies. Um, I don't know. I don't know what the worst one is, because these are all fairly self-explanatory, at least to me, because I have trash brain and don't know what I'm doing. Where it's like 005. Oh, I know what that is. I don't actually know what this is. Oh, cool. This is like an alternate version of it that I didn't use. Oh, okay. I think I've tried to have a different angle of which scene would this have been? I don't know if this would have been I think this would have I think I tried to make this the unloading all the bugs scene, which is why I have it from the rear, where it would have, the trunk would have opened up and all the bugs would have come out. And then I realized that no, in the other scene I had the side door open. Um, but yeah, I don't think this wasn't ever used at all. We could probably look real quick and see if there's anything that didn't get used. I guarantee you there's something in here that was just drawn but not actually thrown in. Oh, this is just the actual scene for the slappies. Uh, as you can see, I did it in here because I didn't know how to do it otherwise. Because retiming things is a pain. I did everything with a transparent background so that I could just add the sky and the moving clouds in Premiere, just to make it a little more consistent. Even though that didn't work. um, why is this just called AC Speedrun? Oh, this is just the shots. Um, does this just have both? The title? Oh, this is from when I was trying to cross. I literally traced the Animal Crossing logo to make the logo for the first cartoon, as opposed to just kind of drawing it on my own in the second one. I literally just traced it. I guess this one wasn't finished. Um, Aside of that, I don't think there's too much interesting really. Um, in general, I'm proud of both, but I'm so ready for this new one to be out so that I can point to that and be like, that's the level of quality that I can achieve, given time and effort. Um, of course, Griffin thinks they're too fast, which I agree. There's some parts that are a little fast, but I'm still trying to come down from the first animation, which was supposed to be terminal montage, and his pace is super duper fast. Just the second one, really? That's weird. You're weird. Um, I I think I think that was a product of trying to make these super short shots because that's less work and just have more shots. I don't know. I don't know either. Um, regardless, I get where you're coming from. I know this one was a little frantic, and like I said, it's probably just a byproduct of trying to rush it to get it done. Second one stands out in brain, especially the clams. Yeah, there's shots in it that are memorable. The first one was a little just kind of, this is the Animal Crossing world. Um, I need to get better at structuring scenes a little better because all of these shots like kind of exist in their own little universe. Like you can't tell me where this is in relation to this scene or like this scene. You don't know where these things are in space. That's something that I don't quite understand how to do yet. And something that I'm working on. There's some bits in here that are memorable, but as a whole, I'm glad it exists. But I think I like the little one just the first one just the slightest bit more. Um, which is all going to go down the toilet when the Katamari one comes out, and I'm the most proud of that. Um, but regardless, I think that's about it. I don't really have anything else myself to show off. Unless very last minute one of you has something that you really need to see desperately. Um, I can really quick. I can find something to show off from the new cartoon. I don't know what. I guess we'll find out. Um, you know what I can show? I can show you. I can show you this wonderful. Show us one man. Here, I'll show you this first. I'll show you. Are you guys ready? It's a sky gradient. It's the gradient that makes up the sky. What do you think? Okay. Um. Wow. Incredible. Um. Show us one little guy. Um. Not sure. I can do that. Um. Do I want to spoil the after credits one? Because it's really funny, but it has nothing to do with the rest of the plot. Your stream froze for me and I missed it. Okay, here, real quick, I'll show the gradient again. Um, bam. It's a sky gradient. You should all be very proud of me. Uh, it's a sky gradient. Um, the choice of what to show, what to be the first thing that you all experience from this world that I've created is horrifying. Um, because I want to show something. I will show one little guy. Just a single little guy. Okay, you guys ready? You guys are gonna see him for the first time. He's very shy. I don't know why that won't go away. Please go away, Mr. Barr. It's fine. Are you guys ready? You're gonna meet your little friend. He's been in the thumbnail, but I'm so one of the things I'm most proud of in this animation that you guys haven't seen yet, is the fact that I've gotten a little bit more into character animating and like doing the motions of how the character moves a lot better. And I really like the way that I've animated the prince, because I think he moves very funny and he's a lot of fun to move around. Uh, anyway, here's your friend. I have it paused from one of the shots, but he's Griffin. I know you're immediately going to be like, "Oh, he's perfect for merch," and you're right. He is. Um, he's just a little guy. He's just a little friend. He's very whittle, as you will see. But I'm very proud of how I've simplified him into just these little shapes. It's not entirely perfect, because like normally his head is a little more rounded than this, but I like the way that I draw him. He's very fun to doodle, and I can't wait to do like a little doodle stream after the cartoon comes out and just draw a billion of him. Um, I'm sad that I haven't been able to sneak as many of the other cousins into the shot as I have. I've snuck a few in, like some of the ones that I find more funny, where like the one where it's literally just the prince, but his head is turned 90 degrees and his face is on the side. I think he's very funny, so I snuck him into one of the shots. Um, but other than that, I haven't been able to hide as many of them as I would like. But I might do a stream at some point where I just draw all of the cousins in like this style, because the way that I draw him, it's very fun. He's a lot of fun to just doodle. Uh, regardless, I hope you all are excited for this, because God knows I am. It would make a heck of a shirt. Lord knows, because I already have the one. It's downstairs. That's the bunch of cousins that I'm gonna wear for the premiere stream. But since I'm on sound editing, it shouldn't be too much longer now. I've just gotta buckle down and do it. Could be sometime next week, maybe, if I get my butt in gear and don't get bogged down with actual homework. But regardless, I hope you all are looking forward to it. I know I am, because I've poured a lot of my heart into this and trying to pay homage to one of the games that I love the most in this world, and it means a lot to me, and I hope that you guys enjoy it as much as I've enjoyed making it. Um, but with that out of the way, I think feel free to like message me in the Discord if there's like an asset you wanted to see, or like a background that you were like, hey, that'd make a cool desktop background, and I'll probably throw it together and send it in the Discord or something. I don't know. Um, but yeah, I'm glad you're excited. I'm very happy to finally have this in the world. Um, and I just hope people like it as much as I do. Um, I'm I'm nervous because I know Katamari is nowhere near as popular as Animal Crossing. I don't see this cartoon going super huge, but I've seen just enough of people talking about Katamari on the internet, like on Twitter. I forget who it was. I think it was Carly Rae Jepsen that tweeted like, "Does anyone remember Katamari?" And I was like, "Yeah, I do. Watch my cartoon. I wish it was out." Um, and I could get Carly Rae Jepsen to watch my cartoon. Um, I forget who it was. It was some celebrity on the tier of Carly Rae Jepsen, but um, I don't know. I have no idea how popular or unpopular Katamari is. Like if I can get just Keita Takahashi to watch it, um, I would be over the moon. Um, because I know he looks at a lot of Katamari stuff on Twitter, and I'm hesitating tagging him when I finally release the cartoon and be like, "Hey, I made this cartoon about Katamari. It means a lot to me, and I wish you would enjoy it." Um, I don't know. That'll be a when we come to it type of thing. But yeah, like I said, I'm very excited. With that said, I need to go eat dinner and do some homework because I'm a nerd. Um, yeah, I'm glad you're all excited for it, and Lord knows I am too. Uh, that out of the way, I hope you all had a great time. I know I did. You know what? We've got 6 people. Let's see who we can shove these users towards. Um, let's go. Is is Vader still streaming? Yeah, he is. Vader's streaming some Apex Legends. If y'all want to send some love Vader's way, let's go ahead and check out Vader's stream. Boop, 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 boop. And send some love to the homies, of course. Yeah, I'll be back tomorrow. I don't know what with, because I was really focusing on trying to get today's stream set up and figuring out what I wanted to do today. But regardless, I hope y'all had a good time. I hope it was informative for those of you who wanted to find it informative. But yeah, I'll see y'all tomorrow with something. If you have suggestions, put it in the Discord. Otherwise, I'll come up with something, I'm sure. But yeah, I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. All that good stuff. I'll see you all tomorrow. Stay healthy, stay safe, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out. Get those Chris Q loves ready. Spam them. Just absolutely bury him in emotes.